Rachel, I just got a call from Officer Noah. I'm heading over to the crime right now to collect some evidence.
Alright, I'll prepare the labs to analyze the data for when you return.
What do we have here, officer?
A male victim, age 14. We see some evidence of blood on his clothing, but you'll have to do an autopsy to obtain more information. We also found the victim's phone and the sweater a couple meters away.
Okay, I'll collect any evidence I can here, but make sure you send the victim over to the lab so we can perform an autopsy.
Rachel, here's the suspect's jacket from the crime scene.
Alright, I'll run a luminol test and I'll see what comes up.
What's a luminol test?
Luminol is a compound, and when it reacts with iron and hemoglobin, it causes it essentially to luminesce.
Wow, that's so cool. So nothing can vanish without a trace.
Yes, essentially, especially blood. So if there is blood on this jacket, the luminol will cause it to glow. There we go, and here are all the traces of blood. We just gotta get this to the DNA lab, have them confirm it's the suspects, and
Case closed.
Forensic science may be defined as the application of science to criminal and civil laws. A forensic scientist collects, preserves, and analyzes scientific evidence during the course of an investigation, and provides impartial scientific evidence for courts of law. Forensic scientists perform their work in laboratories and are responsible for interpreting physical evidence retrieved by crime scene investigators. While they are in the laboratory, forensic scientists analyze samples such as hair, body fluids, glass, paint, and drugs. Furthermore, there are multiple subsections and specializations of forensic science whose job titles differentiate. A few to be named are crime scene analyst, crime scene investigator, and an evidence technician. Yet throughout our presentation, we will be pertaining to forensic science as a general category.
Many qualities and traits pertaining to forensic science are major keys when considering pursuing this career. A forensic scientist must possess good organizational skills to collect, analyze, and preserve data and evidence that may be used as proof to solve crimes. Furthermore, a forensic scientist must have excellent observational skills and a good attention to minuscule yet important details critical to solving cases. Having solid language, writing, and communication skills is essential in the field of forensics in order to write reports describing the data analyzed and to convey information in a clear and concise manner. Finally, forensic scientists must have the ability to problem solve and use critical thinking skills to understand information and to combine the known information to solve for the unknown. Those interested in forensic science must also continue their studies through post-secondary education to obtain the necessary knowledge, qualifications, and technical skills. Post-secondary education for a forensic scientist requires earning a bachelor degree in chemistry, physics, biology, or forensic science. A forensic science major includes studies in pharmacology, statistics, and criminal justice, in addition to the three main science streams. Furthermore, a student may choose to complete their master's degree in a specialization field, for example, toxicology. U of T Mississauga is a university that offers a forensic science bachelor's program. A student in this program must take a forensic science major program or a forensic science specialist program, pursuing one of the specialization streams. After having obtained a career, training by experienced colleagues on topics specific to employment is required, as well as mandatory workshops based on new and innovative forensic techniques.
Well, it is fairly difficult to find a job as a forensic scientist as there are many requirements. Although there are private forensic scientist jobs, over 80% of the jobs in the field are governmental positions. Forensic scientists are usually hired by the law enforcement, crime laboratories, federal agencies, hospitals, morgues, and pharmaceutical companies. Furthermore, in the year 2020, careers based on forensic science are predicted to increase 19% from 2010. Unfortunately, since many forensic scientists are controlled by local, provincial, and federal budgets, there is a potential risk of unforeseen depreciation in employment opportunities due to the economy. Included is a chart of the future predicted employment rates for forensic scientists in Ontario.
The average pay scale for someone in the forensics profession ranges from $31,300 to $92,023. The typical salary for one with 0 to 5 years of experience in the forensic science field is $48,000, 6 to 10 years is $57,000, 11 to 20 is 66,000, and 21 or more years is 74,000.
Most forensic scientists work in laboratories, but some work on the field in criminal investigations, discovering evidence and at the scene of the crimes. Furthermore, forensic scientists mainly work in urban centralized areas with a greater population, as more crimes tend to occur in these environments. A typical day in the life of a forensic scientist may include the following duties: visiting crime scenes to determine what evidence is needed for processing and analyzing, collecting, recording, and preserving criminal evidence for crime scenes that will be used in a court of law, as well as examining, testing, and analyzing evidence, including tissue samples, chemical substances, physical materials, and ballistics, and analyzing fingerprints, handwriting documents, electronical, medical, chemical, or metallurgical experts to discuss and interpret evidence. Overall, a forensic scientist's typical day of work, setting, and day-to-day tasks vary and are never the same, as they constantly change depending on the location, the situation, the role, or however they play out in their investigation.
Rachel, you wouldn't believe what I found.
What?
Well, do you remember that picture that the victim took? His very, very last picture?
Yes.
Well, you would not believe what was on it. You see in the background?
Yeah. No, I don't see.
Using my observational skills, I found the suspect's weapon.
In the background of the photo? Well, did you scan it through the forensic technician machine to check all the possible DNA samples that we took from the jacket to see if it's compatible with all the possible owners of this weapon?
Yes, of course I did. And you wouldn't believe who it is.
Who?
Mr. Burhani.
Let's go, partner!